The hell's
let's
this
get to
California? Gavin Newsom. Speaking of, Gavin Newsom doesn't really have big calves. He's more like one of those. You ever see those stick bugs?
Yeah.
With a good head of hair, though. I'll give him that.
Great head of hair.
Great head of hair.
Wow.
Well kept.
So,
And 6'4".
is he actually? I don't care.
I'm producing estrogen as we speak.
So Governor Gavin Newsom, and I use that term loosely, he has now spent the last couple of weeks. And if you haven't heard of this, you really need to know about it because this is a push, right? It's sort of an extension of Beto O'Rourke, where they're trying to make a push into red states. The good news is it backfires in a lot of ways, and we'll go through how it backfires, but more importantly, how you can assist with the backfiring. For example, Texas, they said, was going to become more and more purple. And then you have the irony that the Latino vote here in Texas and, of course, in Florida has become more and more conservative because of how far the left has reached. So they are now going on a red state tour, specifically Gavin Newsom. Largely the messaging is targeting, and you can disagree with me, you can comment below. My inference, white bitches. So here he is making his case, whining about Republicans. Keep in mind, yes, he is from the hellhole that is California.
There's something deep and serious that's happening across this country. All the progress the last half century is being rolled back in these states in real time. In just the last few years, I don't think people fully understand the rights regression, individual liberties, on civil rights, on voting rights, on the gerrymandering that's happening out here, on just the assault on the African-American community, the assault on the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and trans community. The number one issue of the day, it seems to be getting rid of the word Latinx in Arkansas, and number two, getting rid of drag shows.
Pause it.
It's a
hold on. Keep playing.
Serious moment in American history.
Pause. He just said, the thing that they're doing, getting rid of the term Latinx, less than 2% of Latin Americans want the term Latinx, getting rid of drag shows. This is a serious moment in American history. You mispronounced silly. You mispronounced goofy and dumb. You mispronounced as out of touch as humanly possible. Think about that sequence of words. The Republicans are trying to get rid of Latinx and drag shows at public libraries. This is serious. Yeah, keep with that messaging. It worked well for Anheuser-Busch with the chick with the dick on the can. Only $4 billion lost in market cap in 2 weeks.
Boom.
You know, more than your state, less than your state, I should say. Good. It's a serious time. Latinx.
Unbelievable.
Okay, we can continue, but it's just fun. Just think of that.
Yeah.
This is how out of touch. They're getting rid of Latinx. They want to get rid of drag shows. Can you believe it? For crying out loud, like you're Schindler freeing the Jews. All right, let's go to the next. Keep playing.
And yet we're so consumed respectfully by the spectacles in Washington that I, as an American, feel compelled as a governor to call that out and expose some of that in a more systemic way.
Hey, how about you feel compelled as a governor to govern? How about that?
Tell him, Stephen.
Your city is covered with piles of human shit, needles, and you have record violent crime. You're concerned about a term like Latinx that none of your voting constituency even want? Go and call someone. Go and call someone who's actually a relatively new immigrant here who's Hispanic. Go and call them Latinx. And if you aren't, the reason for them being the new recipient of a teardrop tattoo, they're still going to kick your ass.
And they did the assault on the African-American community. You know how hard it is to get just to pay rent in California or just to buy a house?
Right.
I mean, forget all and Whole Foods and all these other the tech exodus from San Francisco. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's so difficult to make a living in California
unless you're a criminal. Right?
Well,
if you've seen Pacific Heights,
you can
the
eat at Whole Foods for free.
Yeah, and the squatters' rights, by the way.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not going to pay rent, and they can't kick you out because it's basically, it's been almost permanent rent forgiveness in California. That might be another segment we should do.
We should do it, yeah.
But if you are a law-abiding citizen who sort of understands the agreement and actually obeys the law, where you say, well, okay, I guess I can't afford this, I'm going to have to leave, guess what that does? People who have no intent to pay their rent stay, and property values go down. Don't make it a racial thing. White bitches do it too. Comment below if you're from California and you understand the difference between California, Texas, Florida. He's about to discuss Florida, which is hilarious to me. Nothing like taking the fight to where you're weakest, Gavin. The tour stops in Florida, Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, and it came just days after he launched his new PAC, Campaign for Democracy.
Right. But just don't say homeless. It's unhoused neighbor.
I hear it. I will discard it.
But the progress, the radical freedom was found.
The progress is this founding of this nation. This guy's the regression. This guy's the rollback to Europe. Europe's failed policies. That's what he's the man.
Right.
And he wants to sell the man to everybody.
It's roll back the rim to lose. Did you guys have roll back the rim to win in the States, or was that a Tim Hortons thing? Can someone comment below every now and then? Have a reference that I thought you were all raised with?
Nope. You know Tim's.
No, I just heard rim.
Roll
What's
back.
going on here?
Nope. Stop it,
I'm
Mr.
trying to
Llama.
focus on the issues at
Ryan.
hand. Come sit on my lap for a second. I want.
No.
In Tim Hortons, remember,
Snuggle.
roll back the rim to win. All right, anyway, here he is.
right.
He launched his new PAC, Campaign for Democracy, because that's a fun word for them to say.
Let's be direct. We can't solve a problem without first identifying it. And the problem in our country
does a
right
problem
now,
identify?
authoritarian leaders who are so
Like you.
hell-bent on gaining power and keeping it by whatever means necessary that they're directly attacking our freedoms in state after state. That's why I'm launching the Campaign for Democracy. We're going on the road to take the fight to states where freedom is most under attack.
Oh, democracy. By the way, we're a constitutional republic, and I understand you'll try to argue the semantics there, but okay. So democracy. So was there a Democratic vote on lockdowns? Was there a Democratic vote on vaccine mandates for state employees? I just want to make sure that I understand your definition of democracy. Because when I think California, I think freedom. Hit the Rumble button, please. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on YouTube. Smash the Rumble button if you're watching on Rumble. This guy just pisses me off. I would
Absolutely.
like to ragdoll him figuratively.
Well, no, of course.
Figuratively.
Was there also a vote from his constituents that he can go out to one of the most posh restaurants, a 3-star Michelin restaurant in California, in Napa Valley, during the lockdown?
Right,
With
no.
a group of his friends?
Yes.
I know, guys, but at least
French Laundry? No?
At least when I take my child to a toy store, I have the option of gender-neutral toys.
Well, that's...
Yeah.
Well,
So-
thank God for that, Brian. But this guy is priming for a presidential run.
Yes.
Right? I spoke to one of his business partners many years ago in Napa over some wine, and he's like, they have been preparing that guy from day one to run for president. That's it.
Guess
That's
what?
The whole reason
Guess
he's
what?
doing this.
Not a chance, bitch. You know why? Because the second a woman steps in line, or God forbid a minority, you are going straight to the back. No one gives a rat's ass if you're out of central casting. Kamala Harris finished dead last in her own state in a Democratic primary, and she will get the right of way over you.
Absolutely.
That bitch is going to use the carpool lane like she has a dummy riding passenger.
What I
you
really-
have no shot.
What I really hope happens is that there is the first trans candidate on the Democratic Party side. Please make this happen.
Oh,
for me,
please.
That beats Gavin Newsom
Yes.
by a mile.
Please let Michelle Obama run.
Every one of the states.
I think, don't you think they're priming Gavin Newsom to run against Trump? Don't you
Of
think
course.
that this is what's really going on?
In
Good
his
luck.
mind,
2024?
Good luck. What were we about to say there, Pops Crowder?
In every state where he wants to make a difference, that's been a democratic process to go red.
Right.
That's exactly what he said.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. They chose a Ron DeSantis, dummy.
Yeah, we need to bring back democracy. Like, yeah, we've all the Cubans, Cuban Americans who voted by a margin of like 70-something percent.
at
Yeah,
least
we all
or higher.
voted for that guy because you remind us of the guys who we hated when we left. What was his name? Che, Fidel. Take your pick, really. We don't like you.
Unbelievable.
Now, here's the thing. In Florida, Newsom, talk about tone deaf.
I know.
You'd think he would try and argue somehow that California is... Anyway, here's a clip. He spent time attacking Ron DeSantis for things like, quote, academic authoritarianism, again, through anecdotal stories, because, of course, he doesn't have empirical evidence.
I asked, how are your parents feeling about all this? And someone who was very timid, one of the last people to speak, she raised her hand. She goes, oh, my parents love Ron DeSantis, but they want me to leave the school because they can't believe this is happening. And she said it's the first time they had to square that reality.
Oh, go and suck Mitt Romney's tongue, you asshat. I'll take things that were staged or never happened for 1,000, Alex. And by the way, nice job wearing a sticker of a bear that you don't even have in your state anymore. Everything about you is fake. Everything about you is wrong. I don't like you, and I could hurt you. Figuratively. Now, who made... You know, I've had a rough couple of days, so I'm just letting it out. I apologize. You can comment below if this is a little too much. If it's a little too much, I give too much of myself.
You need meditation.
I give too much of my.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to detach myself.
Just detach.
From caring. Yeah,
That's right.
That would be great in a democracy.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we were going to vote, but we were so detached.
Stare at your navel.
Yes.
This is him being concerned about his constituents in California here. This picture. Oh, that's the French Laundry during the lockdown.
That
That's
looks like a
awesome.
sequel to the Menu.
Wow.
Good restaurant. Good restaurant.
You've been there, Gerald.
Yeah,
And it's only about $1,000 a person.
Oh my
so
God,
I'm
it's my
glad you were
house
slumming
payment.
it.
It's your house payments. It's
really
one
is.
meal.
You went there?
I
did.
have been there.
Are you ashamed
Is
of
it worth it?
yourself?
Hey, I went there.
Yeah, I am, but it was so good.
Was it
was good, yes.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of the foodie culture. We'll talk about it on Mug Club. But here's Newsom.
Heathen.
What?
Sorry, nothing.
Did you say Hayden?
Heathen.
I thought you said Hayden, like Panettiere.
Oh, wow. Maybe.
Married to Klitschko.
Speaking of.
That must be. I don't even know how it fits. It's like connects.
Why don't you buy another gun, Stephen, and eat a hot dog?
Newsom, I'll democratically vote for another gun. Newsom also made some claims, and we'll go through the claims and the truth just so you know that these are all verifiably false. Because we'll get these messages from you saying, like, he said this, but, is it true? No, it's not. All references are available in the description, loudearthcredit.com. We do all of that work so you can learn and do a deep dive as much as you want. Here he is making incorrect or questionable claims at best about red states.
Yeah, I'm in a state that has 28% higher murder rate than the state of California. I'm
Florida.
Here
He's
in
in
the
Florida right
freedom-loving
now.
state of Florida. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. 8 of the top 10 murder states in terms of increase in murder rates are all red states. By the way, 7 of the top 10 dependent states are those same states with lower life expectancy, higher infant mortality, maternal mortality, some of the worst health outcomes in the country. I mean, how the Democrats, I mean, look at their GDP rates. 60+% of the GDP in this country are in blue states. How are we losing these debates? Yeah. How are we losing these debates?
Well, how are those blue states losing all of those companies? And this is what happens when Bernie Sanders tries to say that Denmark is socialist and the prime minister says, stop saying that. He's like, we're not. That when you build your economy, for example, you build your economy on free enterprise and businesses go there, there's a delayed effect, and we are seeing them leaving now. So it's important to look at the trend. Sure, California is one of the biggest states. California had the largest influx at one point. California and New York are the only states that have had some kind of shrinkage or complete stagnation. Texas growing, Florida growing. The trend line actually matters. So let's go through some claims and then truth. The claim that he makes there is that Florida has a 28% higher murder rate. That's not true. The truth is that Florida has a slightly higher murder rate than California. California is 5.6 per 100,000. Florida is 5.9. That's not 28% higher.